Hello and welcome to CineQuest video on our 31 Days of Horror, day number 18. We're going to be talking about 1980s The Changeling.
The Changeling, an experience beyond total fear.
John Russell, a composer, husband, father, loses everything in a split second when his wife and daughter are killed in a roadside accident. Grief-stricken, he retreats to Seattle and rents a massive old mansion from the Historical Society, the kind of place that practically hums with sorrow. But he's not alone. Every morning at the same time, the house echoes with deafening bangs. Faucets turn on by themselves. A child's music box starts playing a tune John just composed. And in a hidden attic room, he finds a tiny wheelchair and spirit of a drowned boy waiting to be heard. Through seances, tape recordings, and sleepless nights, John uncovers the boy's name, Joseph Carmichael, and the horrifying truth. A crippled child murdered by his father so the family fortune wouldn't die with him. The father replaced him with another boy who grew up to become a powerful U.S. senator. Now, the ghost of the real Joseph wants justice and won't rest until his killer's legacy burns. As the mansion collapses in flames, the senator's heart gives out under the weight of the truth. Amid the ashes, Joseph's wheelchair remains, scorched, silent, and then, softly, the music box begins to play again. The Changeling is gothic horror at its most haunting, less about jump scares and more about the way grief echoes through halls, generations, and souls.
All right, Bryce, so we're here to talk about 1980s The Changeling. George C. Scott stars in this film. I'm a fan of George C. Scott.
Yeah.
I think my other favorite horror movie of his is Exorcist 3.
Oh, yeah.
I would say there isn't a point in time that I've seen a George C. Scott film where he doesn't give it his all.
I would say no, yeah.
And this one is no different.
Yeah, for sure. I just recently came into the knowledge of the fact that he was in a movie about, it's called The Day of the Dolphin, where he plays a scientist that's trying to decode the squeaks and squeals of dolphins.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he trains a dolphin to speak English. Weird movie. Yeah. But even in that movie, you can tell he just, his acting's top notch.
It is. It really is. He really does sell the fear in this particular film. Him kind of roaming around a huge mansion, a house too big for one man, but this man probably he's a well-known composer.
Yeah.
And I think we've heard numerous times where artists or musicians rent these mansions to kind of come up with or produce new art musically, so to speak. And I mean, a lot of them, even like Jimmy Page, then they go to Aleister Crowley's old.
Well, he owns
Aleister
it.
Castle. Well, he owns it now. I guess.
think he owns it, but
maybe it's for inspiration. The vibe.
It's just I think you're asking for a haunting if you're renting out a house like that. No one's lived in for years, and it's just you.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
watching this film, I got the vibe entirely of it being a haunted house. And just by him, just in the beginning, before anything actually started, because I'm not a fan of huge mansions, especially if you're by yourself. I'm not about that. Give me a modestly sized to relatively small house, and I'm a happy camper. But I was telling my mother, I said, I don't recall a tiny home ever being haunted. A really tiny home, right?
I'm pretty sure that Zach Bagans is gone. What about that? What's that one? The Chicago one, or what's the one where he goes to the house?
Well, isn't that he bought that and then
Devil House?
Yeah, but that was
Demon House. That was kind of a small house.
That had a basement. I'm talking about a house that's sitting above the floor, or sitting above the ground.
Hey, man.
And doesn't really have any attic crawl space or anything like that. Anything where people can actually hide. I don't really see that. I mean, if I'm wrong, please let me know. And I would like to visit this small haunted room. I'm pretty sure there's haunted rooms, sure. But yeah, no, this movie really does give off that haunted house vibe. And I feel like these movies that are borderline between right around the 80s and kind of a touch of the most of the 70s.
Yeah.
I think they have a really a creepier vibe than most 80s or 90s films or any other films that I've seen as of late.
There's a lot of movies around this time where the kids getting killed by cars.
Yeah.
Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkin. What was it? Motorcycle.
Well,
It was a,
some
it was,
vehicle.
It was a vehicle.
A
of some
lot of
sort,
kids being run over in these movies.
Sure,
I
sure.
Strange.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. But I don't know. What's your take on this film, Bruce?
I have a long history with this movie. I used to watch a lot when I was younger. We had the VHS tape of it. Even as a kid, I remember seeing the VHS box, the cover on it. It was scared the hell out of me. It was creepy looking. You know, it was like the wheelchair with the cobwebs and the window, like in the shadow of the kid in it. And when I was young, my grandmother, who owned the VHS, lived in a 2-story house. It was by no means as big as this house, but it was, you know, it was big, especially when you're young and it's like seemed like a big house, you know. So, and we had stairs, and that, of course, if you know the wheelchair scene in this movie, I mean, it's just this movie terrified me as a kid. It was just, it was creepy. The reveal of the boy in the tub always got to me as a kid. So, I absolutely love this movie. It's got a soft spot in my heart. So, I got a soft spot in my heart for this movie. But yeah, it's great.
You think this movie had some negative effect on the handicapped? It's kind of like every handicapped person has like some kind of creepy wheelchair attached to them or something.
I don't know, man.
It's brutal too. I mean, the father kills the child who's severely handicapped just to only get someone new to like carry on his legacy and stuff. That's wild. See, the thing is, like, I wasn't aware of that part of the story. I just knew it was a haunted house because I think I told you before, I'd seen it prior to me viewing it this time around again, but I wasn't paying attention enough to the story. I was just kind of like having it on for like background haunted house vibe type of film.
Yeah.
But as I was sitting there watching it, the twist on the whole story about the father killing his handicapped child and then like going off and getting some other child to kind of take over as him. Yeah, was wild.
Yeah,
I was like, that's pretty dark.
Yeah,
it's a pretty dark.
That's why he's called. That's why he's called the Changeling, man.
And that's the other thing. Like I always knew what the Changeling was, like the definition of a Changeling, but I wasn't aware of how it kind of fit into this story. I thought it was just a nice, creepy name for a haunted house movie. But
there's another movie called The Changeling with Angelina Jolie. If you
I saw that in the theater, hoping it was going to be some kind of
I never saw it.
Creepy film, and it does have that kind of aspect too. But like, I don't know, like,
well, you know, the story
it didn't hit.
There's a folklore story to the word changeling. It actually used to be how medieval people would explain children who may have later on like seemed normal as a child or a baby, but as they grew up, they would have like some kind of like mental disability or intellectual disability or something like that. And the whole belief was that the fairies would change out the baby in the night, and so it was the changeling. But so I thought that was interesting in this movie because it was kind of like the opposite of that. Like it was he killed his handicapped child and then replaced them with a child who could walk. But yeah, I mean that's pretty messed up, dude. I remember the scene and like very vividly where he's drowning the kid, and it's like it's crazy, man. Crazy movie.
Yeah, he just grabs his legs and like that's fun. No, again, like I said, I wasn't paying attention too much to the story. I just knew that I liked the quote unquote vibe of the movie. Yeah, like just by George C. Scott alone and in the house and the ball and the little voices and then of course the seance scene and all that. Yeah. Like all that is enough. I mean, and then you add that extra dark twist at the end of someone, killing their child and then just replacing them casually. Probably didn't seem like he really thought about it too much. He just like, I don't like this child. Yeah. I'm going to get rid of him and get a new one. And he did. And of course that senator had to come to terms with it at the end. I was just like, whenever George C. Scott confronts him in the airport and he's going on the airplane and he's just like, I found it! I found it! Yeah. The old man's just like, ooh. Yeah. It was good. I loved it.
Well, there's the other scene in this movie where they find it actually happens outside of the mansion, and they find that's where they find the locket or the little thing. It comes up out of the ground.
Yeah.
It's like at somebody's house, like they dig up somebody's house, like in their bedroom or something like that. There's like a well or something. I guess that's where he dumped the child or whatever. Yeah. But
yeah, the movie's a lot darker than I remember it being.
feel like I need to check on this, Ray, but I for some reason feel like there's two different endings to this movie because I saw it recently on because I used to have the VHS and I saw it on Tubi,
Right.
and there's certain things I don't remember the old man going into the house when it's burning down. Like I don't know if he like astral projects because like he dies.
because it immediately cuts to, and that's what I think happens. Like he's like some kind of like astral projection kind of thing because he just shows up.
Yeah.
Like it's an odd cut, and it was a little bit jarring when I saw it the other night. Whenever George C. Scott falls and he's like, you have the chandelier kind of like, I thought the chandelier was going to fall on top of him, but then the thing is like the old man is like convulsing in some way and it looks like he's about to die and immediately it cuts to him walking up the stairs and I was like, whoa, like where did he come from? Was George C. Scott on the floor that long?
Right, maybe he was.
Was he convulsing a couple hours before and then he just decided to travel over there? I don't know. Like,
well, he has a helicopter. He's a senator. He could get,
right.
But that's another thing. That's one thing that does piss me off about this movie. Why is Joseph? Hey man, I know you got some issues, but why are you being an asshole, man? This George C. Scott's trying to help you.
Yeah,
John Russell's trying to help you.
Pissed,
You're gonna kill him.
But he's pissed.
He
bro.
helped him. He
did
solved
help
the
him.
mystery.
Now you gotta ask yourself: is Joseph an evil?
Malignant spirit? I don't know, man. It sounds like it because he tries to kill the lady by knocking her down the stairs, and then he tries to kill John Russell, George C. Scott with the chandelier.
Or maybe like it's not really Joseph at all. It's just a spirit of vengeance in the house.
Possibly.
I mean, because he could want. It could be a malicious spirit that's like, it has a facade of Joseph. That way he can get these people and souls together so he can, one, find out the truth and then eventually just get rid of everybody. I don't know. Like, what was the intent of the spirit in the house, Because, I mean, if it was Joseph, you're like you said, Joseph, why are you doing this? They're trying to help you.
We know you have father issues, but come on.
Yeah, right.
And we'll find out in The Changeling 2.
Yeah. Joseph returns.
Yeah. Return of Joseph. Yeah.
I really like this movie. It really like encapsulates. I'm saying that entirely wrong. It really encompasses what a Halloween vibe would be.
Yeah.
Again, it's not jump scares. No. It's not cheap thrills or anything like that. It's just mood, tension, atmosphere,
and it just fashion spook 'em ups.
Exactly, and those kinds of films are timeless. Like I think if you have the lights off and like people are just sitting there watching it, and you have a nice or decent sound system, you can hear all the little things going on. Because again, when I was watching this movie, you hear the kid. And then you hear like, especially when they're doing the seance and shit like that, and then the glass breaks.
Yeah,
and it's all good. I like it a lot. I've owned this movie for a long time, and I just hadn't put it on enough to where I paid enough attention to it. I just knew it was always there. So
I need to get a copy. I don't have it anymore. I need to get like a DVD copy.
I have a DVD. I got a DVD copy like a long.
I think Arrow Video will come out with the Changeling.
Pretty sure maybe Criterion. I don't know.
It'd be cool if they came out like a super deluxe edition. Like it's like the wheelchairs, like the DVD case.
Right, it's all has like the cobwebs.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
That'd be cool. I mean, actually, do they sell that as memorabilia? The cobweb chair,
I don't know, man.
Which is another thing. The questioning me
point.
about the cover. Like whenever I saw the cobweb wheelchair, I just thought it was a creepy thing. Again, I didn't relate it to the movie in a sense where there was a character who was disabled.
Oh yeah,
who got killed.
Yeah,
But yeah. Anything else you want to say about The Changeling?
No, just check it out if you haven't seen it. I think Ray's right though. Get in a good vibe. It's gonna sound lame, but like light some candles. Turn the lights off. Just real spookify your house. Perfect time.
If you smoke cigarettes, it might help because like. Also, I mean, it comes with the vibe because George C. Scott's like smoking, and I was watching the movie. I was like, man, I really want some like alcohol and like sit there and be there with them in the house. Like,
you wanted
what's going on?
You want to start writing music on a piano and all
just
that.
Like sitting there, like,
if you have like a loud father or uncle that's in your house, like have him come out every so often and be like, "What do you want from me? What do you want from me? I did everything you asked."
We miss George C. Scott.
I
wish he was still alive to be in more movies or something.
Yeah, man.
Imagine an old, like, very, very geriatric George C. Scott, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
him in some A24 movies.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, the one scene I just want to talk about before we end this is like whenever he's like crying, remembering his daughter, he's like having a real tender moment, and he looks like he's sobbing.
Yeah.
And then you hear the boom, boom, and he's like,
Yeah.
his eyes go
Yeah.
like really wide, you know,
Yeah.
like. Yeah. Again, definitely check out the Changeling if you haven't. It's streaming right now. Or get yourself a copy. That would be really cool. But yeah, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more horror reviews with our 31 Nights of Horror here on Cinequest Video. We'll see you next time.